In at number 10, Adrenaline. This game simulates a first-person shooter. I'd heard good things about it, and it's a game I can get to the table. I don't think it's a deep game, but you can play it in about an hour. And the art is, I like the colorful art. It's got a two-sided board, which I like. And I like the art of the players, of the little characters. The little cards that you get are kind of cool. So, yeah, I enjoy it. That is my number 10, Adrenaline. Next up at number 9, Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. The reason we like this game so much, in addition to the pieces and the theme, is the iOS app. It adds a lot to the game. First of all, it makes it easy from a setup standpoint and from a tracking what happens next and so on and so forth. But secondly, the ambiance it adds to the overall, there's music and there's a story that you're told. The narrator does a nice job, and the sound effects are neat. It really is a cool game. You can see some of the board and some of the characters. It really is nicely done. So that's Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. In at number 8, Clank, a deck building adventure. It really is a family game. I bought this and I had a bunch of guys over, or a couple guys over the house, and it came in the mail that day, and they quickly were like, yeah, it's, one guy said it's Candyland. The other guy didn't make a comment. That's Candyland. It's Candyland. It's not Candyland. He was wrong. I hadn't played it at that point, but it's fun. You're basically sneaking around a dungeon, trying to get some loot and get out before the dragon comes and gets your butt. And you got to get out before the dragon gets you. So it's cool. Another two-sided board. I like the card. You're basically building a deck that helps you to get through. I like the idea of the tokens going into a satchel, and you pull them out, and depending on what you get, tells you who takes the damage. And as the game goes on, it's more likely that you're going to get hurt. So it's definitely a cool game. And this one, Mechs versus Minions. My boys are big League of Legends fans, so when I found out that Riot Games had put out a board game, I tried to jump on it. I missed the Kickstarter. Or actually, do they have a Kickstarter on this one? I don't remember. But I remember that they had already had the first printing go out, and I tried to jump on the second one, and I did it like the last week in November, and I had it the second week in December. One of the better releases as far as the quality of the components. The shipping, I think, was free. They did it for like $80 shipped, and this thing is heavier than hell. I'm sure you've seen openings on this, but it's a lot of fun. I know it's not for everybody. I heard from somebody from another channel who said, that type of programmed movement is not to my liking, but it's still a lot of fun. That's like saying I don't like to roll dice. I mean, to me, it's I can't dismiss a game totally because now if I can't get it to the table, it's one thing. That's like Star Trek Ascendancy. I don't know that I get it to the table with the people I play with, which are my kids. If that may change, I'm going to start visiting a Friday night board game night, and if that group I think would play it, I will be first in line for Star Trek Ascendancy because I love the idea of it. But if my kids won't play it, and the two guys that I mentioned from the other group that came to the house, they're not going to play it. They're Euro gamers. They like Caverna, Agricola, stuff like that. They're not going to They played Maximinians. They said, it's all right. They wouldn't play it again. They didn't care. They didn't like the one of them didn't like Scythe either, which kind of surprised me because I thought it'd be up his alley, but he didn't care for it. Anyway, Mechs versus Minions. In at number 6, here's a game that I've played numerous times, but never my set. So I played at somebody else's set numerous times, and with different groups. the thing that saves this for me, and I haven't played more than once, is the solo game, because I can play this, which is part of the reason I bought it, because my boys are not interested. They say it looks boring. I have to get them to try it. I just got them to try Blood Rage a little while ago, and 2 of them liked it, and well, actually, no, I only played that with one of them. So I got some picky kids. They only play certain things, but I like Scythe. I think the quality of production, the variety of things you can do on your turn, it definitely is in my top 10. And this one could easily move higher up if I get my boys to play it. Easily. It is a great game. It's Scythe at number 6. Well, now to my top 5. Here's going to be a shocker, I think, for people. Evolution Climate. Love this game from North Star Games. You are numerous species, and your job is to survive. And you have a number of cards that help you to protect yourself from not only attacks, but from weather. Allow you perhaps to attack others, depending on what you want to do. And there's events that come out, like things like meteorites and things that affect the temperature. This game was also available without the climate, but I think the climate adds so much to it. Great game, highly recommend it. Look at that, over 200,000 ways to adapt your species. Every game unfolds in a beautifully unique way. This is true. I haven't seen 2 games that were alike. You can play it in about an hour. I like that it's 2 to 6, so you can have a little bit larger group. It's fairly simple to comprehend. It says ages 12 and up, and I think that's about right. My 12-year-old daughter plays it and likes it. So yeah, that's Evolution Climate at number 5. I think it's a cool game. At number 4, this is a game that could easily go up on my list. I really do enjoy Great Western Trail, but I have trouble getting my kids to play it. They tried it. One of them said it was like watching, grass grow or something. I don't know why he felt that way. The turns didn't take that long. I think for them, the concept of it didn't get hold. They were challenged, why can you only bring one of every type? That's stupid. And I said, well, it's not one cow. It's a bunch of cows of that type, and they can only take so many. They're only interested in so many. It's like a supply and demand thing. Some cows are, but it was falling on deaf ears. Anyway, I loved it. I played it in a tournament at a convention I went to and played this with a bunch of people. And I've got acrylic. You slide your player board into the acrylic holder, which I think is pretty nice. It just makes for an easier way. Everything fits in a place and nothing gets bumped and slides. So I really like that. It makes the game pretty heavy, but I think the box can handle it. It's got a little ding in the corner up here. I guess that came with shipping. I didn't do it, so I don't remember that. But I'm fairly picky. But this is a game I don't plan on selling, so I'm pretty okay with it, I guess. Anyway, Great Western Trail, that is number 4. Checking in at number 3, Star Wars Rebellion, released in early 2016. It was the first big game I bought when I decided to spend some cash. And I still got it for a good price, but it was the first big game that I was kind of questioning whether or not I'd get this to the table. And I've been able to. One of my boys in particular plays it, so... And I think it's the type of game that I could probably take it to a board game night and set it up and have somebody play it. I believe I could teach that. And it's relatively easy to play. I don't they say the combat could be better. I don't mind it. I guess it could be better, but everything could be better. It's still fun. I like the dice rolling, and I like hiding the rebel base, and I usually play the rebels. Let somebody else play the Alliance, or play the Galactic Empire. I play the Alliance. But yeah, good fun. I got an insert for this, so it makes it kind of cool too. Makes it a little easier to set it up. There are a lot of plastic miniatures. But you can knock this game off in, what does it recommend? I think we finished it sooner than what they said here. Let's just say down here. Yeah, it says 3 to 4 hours. We were able to finish it quicker than that. But it just depends. It's another game that you set up and you start in the morning and you take a break and you come back, and that's that kind of a game in my opinion. I don't see playing it straight for 4 hours. And maybe it did take us 4 hours, but you know, I mean, in total it took us longer, but I think we were trying to subtract lunch and breaks, and maybe it did take us 4 hours. I don't know, but it was a fun 4 hours. That's what it was. We had a blast playing it. So that is Star Wars Rebellion in at number 3. There's only 2 games left. What could number 2 and number 1 be? Number 2 might be a surprise. I don't know, maybe not. But love this game. Love the artwork. Love the theme. And then when I got it and tried it, I thought it was a blast. 2 to 4 players. You can finish it in an hour and a half or so, or maybe less. And that is, Stefan Feld's The Oracle of Delphi. A lot of fun to play. Powers, dice. It's a race. It's not a point salad thing. You've got so many objectives throughout the game, and once you complete those objectives, you win the game. And get back to the start, basically. But yeah, we're back to Zeus, actually. But here's the random board every time. It's going to be different. Where the various objectives are going to be different. Yeah. A lot of fun. 12 and up, 60 to 100 minutes, 2 to 4 players. I like games that can be played with 2 because sometimes that's all I can get. So I would like this even better if you could play it with a single player and you had so many turns to complete it or something, but to the best of my knowledge, I haven't looked to see if there's any variants out there that anybody's done, but it's pretty cool the way it is. I like the components, like the game. I'm generally a pretty big Feld fan anyway, so this fits right in. So that is number 2, The Oracle of Delphi. Or Delphi, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I say Delphi, but I think the official way might be Delphi. Don't care. Oracle of Delphi. Stefan Feld. My number 1 game of 2016, Terraforming Mars. We absolutely love this game. I can get almost anybody to play this thing. From those Euro gamers that called Clank Candyland, they love it. To my boys, 2 of them love it. One of them hasn't tried it yet, but I think he would. The thing I love about it is you could play 2, 3, or 4, and does this thing play 5? I might be able to play 5, but 2, 3, or 4, and it takes about the same amount of time. 1 to 5. I've played it with 4. I haven't played it with 5, but I think it would, because the game doesn't end until certain things are done, oxygen level, temperature, and oceans being placed. More people means you get to that faster, and so the game will end quicker. Though the turns will, because multiple players have to take their turns, you know. There's some variants you can do, like card drafting instead of just getting your cards. I like the idea of the card drafting. I haven't tried that yet, but everybody I've talked to who's played it that way said they really like it. So Terraforming Mars, my number 1 game for 2016. That's it, guys. What do you think? What did I leave off? I know what I haven't played that are big games that are on people's lists. I mentioned Star Trek Ascendancy. Maybe I'll get that one eventually. Maybe that'll change my list. Yeah, what else did I missed the Networks. I haven't played that. I've watched some videos on it. That could appeal to me. I don't know. So far it hasn't. I could see where it might, but so far it hasn't. I'm missing some other ones, but I believe that the ones I played are the ones I probably would like the best anyway, and the ones that I own. Certainly Terraforming Mars would be tough to knock out of the number 1 spot for me. All right, guys, that is it. I'd love to hear your comments. Love to hear what your top 10 were, or just your top 3, or your top game for 2016. As always, Dean of Games saying so long.